Hey everyone, welcome to Arcade Treasure Center. My name is Roy. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can earn up to $500 or more in a week's time selling on eBay. How do I know this? Because I'm about to show you the items that I sold for 1 week. As many of you know, I shut down my online eBay store and went to California to take care of a family member for 2 months. That means I didn't make any sales. Well, this video is going to show you after I opened up the store what I sold for 1 week from Sunday to Sunday. These are all the items that you can probably find in your own home, or some of these items you can find at garage sales, flea markets, or if you go to retail arbitrage. That means going to like Walmart, Target, places like that, and finding items to resell. These are simple items, and we're going to jump right into it with the very first item. So this right here is a vintage folding fan from the 1950s that features Spanish bullfighting. And as you can see, there are pictures depicting Spanish bullfighting, and this sold for $15. The next item is a set of 4 wall plaques. These are Curry and Ives. These are lithographed wooden plaques. I found these at a thrift store for $2 for a bundle of 4 of them. These sold for $30 plus shipping. The next item are 4 little genuine Nintendo Wii Fit balance board feet. These are just the feet that came off the balance board. They're lightweight, easy to ship, and people need replacements for these things. So when you find one, whether it's working or not, you can just remove the items off of it. A lot of times, just selling parts and pieces of things will earn you a profit. This didn't sell for very high, although I did have several sets that came in a package, and this is one of those sets that sold for $8.95. I also sold another package on Macari, and that one sold for $9.95. Next, we have a book. I know a lot of you have books around your house, and a lot of books will sell. People will buy those because they're looking for specific kinds or unique kinds, or they're just looking for something to read. This one is The Quest of Historical Jesus by Albert Schweitzer. This one sold for $15 plus shipping. All books can be sent media mail, which is an inexpensive price because a stack of books could weigh a lot. And when you're sending out media mail, you can send out 2, 3, 4, 5 pounds of media mail, which means books, records, cassette tapes that aren't blank, things like that. You can turn around and send them out at a low price. This next item is one that I picked up at a thrift shop. It's a HP USB optical mouse. It's real easy to find. When you look, all you gotta do is look up the little serial number on the back of it, and you can find out all the information and everything you need to know. This one, I listed it and sold it. It sold for $14, free shipping. Most of the little electrical stuff that I pick up at the thrift shop is usually marked at about 99 cents or $1.99. I'm sure this was probably the $1.99 one. Here is a clipboard. This one says teamwork on the front, and let me show you on the back. It says 10 reasons why teamwork matters. This was actually a brand new item. I also found this at the thrift shop. This was another one of those little inexpensive items I probably didn't pay the max, maybe $2 for, because I usually buy a lot of inexpensive stuff when I go to the thrift shops, just little things that I can throw around that I can take pictures of and put up on eBay really quick, or any other platform that might be selling on, Poshmark, Macari, places like that. And those little items, they all add up. Like I said, this was brand new, easy to ship. This sold for $11.99 or $12 free shipping. The next item is a really good one. This one is a Crescent Acres, Cave City, Kentucky. This one is a War Bonds milk jug, and it even has the seal on top, which is really, really cool. That's not milk that's in there. Those are just little white styrofoam balls, just so it can give it some contrast when taking pictures. I actually got it this way. It came with those styrofoam balls in it, so I'm sure it's used for packaging and shipping. This is one of those garage sale items you can go around and find. If you're lucky, you may be able to find them for $5 or $10 at an inexpensive price. Now, I've got to say that this one sold for really, really good money, especially because it has war bonds on it. Some of the regular milk bottles don't sell so much for so high. You might be only get $25 to $50 for. This one sold for $150 plus shipping. And what I noticed is this one, like I said, is from Kentucky, and the buyer that purchased it was from Kentucky. So it may be something that was in their area that they knew about, or It brought some sort of memories or something. This is a Division Series Oakland A's Boston Red Sox 2003 giveaway ball. This is one of those little items you go to the baseball or football game and they're giving away free items. That stuff will sell. People like it. It's not going to sell for a lot of price because generally there's a lot of them out there. But this one did selling for $16. Here is a Nevada belt buckle. Belt buckles that are really thick, solid metal, pewter ones, brass ones. Some of them are unique and will sell for really good money. This one sold for $20. I have sold brass belt buckles as high as $65 before, just because they are unique, old, vintage, and sometimes they have advertising or hard to find items. But again, you go around your closets, you go around in your junk drawers, you go around to wherever and look around. I bet you can find a lot of this kind of stuff that I'm showing you, and you'll be able to just list it on eBay without having to leave your own house to go source for items. You'll be able to find items in your own house and turn around and make a profit. Here is a set of Purex daisy pattern coffee mugs. I picked these up at a garage sale, $5 for the whole thing. They have a little bit of weight to them, but all you gotta do is wrap them up real good with some paper bubble wrap, tuck them into a little box, and you can mail it out. And if you can see, it says free Expedia shipping. Well, I actually sent that out by UPS, and the cost for me to send this out UPS was $13, and this sold for $45. I would have sent these out by the regular postal system or the postal service. It would have cost me somewhere between around $21, something like that, $24 to mail out. By sending out UPS, I saved almost $10, and that was really good. The other thing I forgot to tell you is this one's called a daisy pattern, and all you got to do is Google Pyrex retired patterns, and you'll easily find these kinds of patterns and what years and around the years that they made them. So that way you can put down your description and you'll know a little bit more about them. You can learn that way. This is a vintage backgammon set. This is actually a large one. Now, normally I will actually kind of break these down and sell the pieces because a lot of them have old Bakelite pieces, and Bakelite was a unique plastic form way back when. This in particular one was, like I said, a large one. And when I mean large, it was 23 by 18. That's actually a large one. I actually did mail this one also by UPS. I bought this at a thrift shop, and they had a bundle of 3 of them, different sizes, all 3 of them together for $4.99. And I'm selling all 3 individually. Some of them are breaking down for parts and pieces. In fact, I still got one left back there on the shelf, and I'm selling that one whole, and I sold this one whole again because it came with instructions and all the pieces, and this sold for $25. This right here is an Omni cookware set. It's very popular right now with RVers, campers, van lifers. It's a lightweight cooktop set, and that's what I did. If you notice, I put things in titles that will help draw attention. This was an Omni oven is what it's known as. And I put ideal solution for RV, van, boat, tiny home, a camp stove, top cooking. So I put stuff in there that would be what I call keywords, things that are going to draw the attention, things that people are going to look for. First of all, the Omni oven. That's the brand name of the oven. And that's what people are looking for if they're with camping. That's why I put camp stove, top cooking. This sold for $60, again, mailed out by UPS. It was a lot cheaper to go that way. Heavier items, I always ship UPS, because you're going to save probably $8 to $10 minimum when you send things with the UPS store. If they're lighter weight, they're just sending out regular mail. This right here is a Baccarat crystal standing bunny rabbit. Now, I picked up several of them at an estate sale I went to. I picked up birds and a rabbit and different colored ones. And I'm not sure why I didn't show the price down there, so I went ahead and did this. This was actually a screenshot of the tracking or the order form that I sold it, and it did sell for $45 plus shipping. So that's what it sold for. I'm not sure why it didn't pop up here. And now the shipping, when I'm showing you the shipping price, that's because I'm located in Mission, Texas, and that would be the price that I mailed it to myself. So these shipping prices you see when you see shipping prices are not the shipping price that people paid. Most of these are actually going to be that people paid more for it. For instance, this person may have paid $11 to $14 for this item to get to wherever they're going in the United States. If I was to mail this item to myself, that's why it shows up $9.35. This item right here, if you look on the bottom, it'll be stamped or engraved, and it's a little bit difficult to see. It was hard to get with the lighting. And it says Baccarat. That's usually like kind of like an engrave or laser engrave, and there's generally a stamp on it of the maker, and it'll say Baccarat made in France. These, if you find them from inexpensive prices, they'll sell. Every one of these will sell from $45 to $60, $75, especially if they're blue or red. The blue ones will sell a whole lot more. All the blue birds and bunnies that I previously sold, they all sold for $65. Next is some Jello molds. Now again, these were freebie Jello molds. I bought these at a thrift shop. I paid $1.99 for them. But back in, and I don't want to say the 90s, and I could be mistaken by that exactly because I'm not sure when, but around the 90s, maybe late 80s or 90s, Jello was giving away these like Super Bowl helmets. There's no NFL team names on them. They're just a helmet mold, and it's basically like this. It says Jello. It's got 4 helmets and a football, and this is the top side, and that's the actual like mold side where you pour the Jello in. They actually had the box of Jello attached to these things. I think they actually might have came in a set of 4, and because it's almost Super Bowl time, I'm sure that's why they sold. These sold for $9.95 plus shipping. This right here is just a model car. It's not a remote control or anything. This is a Camaro. You can see it's a Chevy Camaro. It is brand new in the box. I actually retail arbitrage this from, I want to say Ross, maybe Target. Not quite sure which one. They had a whole bunch of them they were getting rid of. They had both the regular remote control cars and the models. All the models were going out for $3 a piece. All the remote controls were going out for about $7. And they were just clearing out a whole bunch of them. Well, I bought a big lot of them. And I'm pretty sure this was my actual last model car. I sold all the remote controls and all the other models. I bought different types and varieties. And this was the last one. This sold for $18 plus shipping. And here we have a fig pin, and that's exactly what it says. Fig pin. This is from Dragon Ball Z, or Dragon Ball, and I think Dragon Ball Z. I don't know. I'm not a big comic book character. You can let me know down in the comments. But this was an enamel pin, and I'll show you right here. This is the pin out of the package. This is what what it would look like. And this is more of the actual packaging, and you can see it's a 3D enamel pin. It's very, very, if I was in the comics, I would have kept that myself. So that was a pretty awesome pin. They actually picked up 2 of them. I paid $1 for each of them at a garage sale. They both have sold. This one is the one I sold this week. Sold for $10, $9.95 plus shipping. Here is a crystal vase, or for some of you, a crystal vase. But this one has a label right there. It's marked exactly what it is. It's a Tom Bohemian. It's 24% BPO crystal, which means it's 24% lead crystal. 24% or any other percent BPO, 24% is generally the highest amount of lead you will see in a crystal vase. This one is a called Queen's Lace. This is a little bit heavy. I'm gonna tell you, it's a little bit heavy. I did send it out with the UPS, and this sold for $30 plus shipping. Next item here is called I Am Love. It's just a button. You can see it's a button. Well, this one comes from the Helzberg Diamond Shops. This was popular back in the late 80s, mid 80s. Helzberg Diamond was a name all the way through the 90s, and it still is, I guess. But they gave away a lot of pins and a lot of advertising. There was a lot of advertising being done, and they gave away little pins. These pins are only about an inch big. And I bought a lot of stuff, a junk drawer bag, if you will. It was just a bag of a bunch of oddball stuff in it. These were 2 pins that were in that bag. and I broke down the items in that bag to sell at. I picked them up at a garage sale. I think I paid $1 for this bag of items, and these items are selling. I'm gonna make like $100 off of this dollar bag of items from the garage sale. So those are items that you can find. Like I said, go to your junk drawer in your house, go look around, find these kinds of items, go to garage sales, go to places, pick up just a variety of little stuff that for cheap and expensive 25, 50-cent items, and you'd be surprised at how much you can turn around and sell these items for. This right here is a Calico metal detector bag. This is just a padded carrying case for metal detectors. Most of these, if you bought a certain type of metal detector, you would get this padded case, or you could buy it separately. I came across this padded case. I think I paid $2 for it at a thrift shop and sold it for $29, free shipping, and it was so lightweight it went out under a pound. Probably cost me $4 or $5 to mail out. This was really nice. Now, I don't usually always pick up, let's say, glass eggs. There's no stamping on it, there was no markings, but it was real pretty and had a lot of nice colors, and you could see even the bubbles from when they did the glass making in it. This was really unique, so I went ahead and picked it up. Generally, if it was a brand name, or if it was engraved or stamped on the bottom, Murano makes a lot of type of art glass that's like this, but like I said, this one had no markings or anything like that, but you could tell by the bottom that it was just it was handmade. It wasn't machine made. There's no edging on it, so I could tell it was like a blown glass type, if you want to call it. So I went ahead and bought it. I paid $1 for it, and it sold for $12 plus shipping. All right, here is a pair of snowboard boots. These are unique boots and are very heavy. The total of these boots together in the box was about, I want to say, 7 or 8 pounds. These are some heavy boots, and if you go snowboarding or skiing or different things like that, but especially like that, you know, the snowboarding, you know, those boots are very sturdy, very strong, and very heavy. Well, these were $5 at the thrift shop, and they did have some staining on it. You can see right there on the toe, there's like a mark and some stains. The laces on these things that are used, in fact, I don't know if you can see it right there on the middle lace. You can see it's a little stained and a little frayed. But overall, the boots themselves were sturdy and in good condition. Lots of tread on them. I mean, they were just good looking boots. And I put down in my description, it's hard to read down here in the description, but down here I put down the staining that was on there, and I put the boots, at least one of them has some fraying. So, you know, be honest with what you're selling. Show pictures of different things. Like I said, the staining, I put that right out in the front. People could see it. I put it in the description, and they still sold for $70 with shipping, UPS, and they were about $13 to mail out. So a good profit from a $5 buy. Here we have some lead sinkers. Now, I actually used to make a bunch of lead sinkers. I have sinker molds that I picked up a long time ago, and whenever I find them or come across, I'll pick up some sinker molds. Generally, you can find the brand name is called Do It, D-O, and I-T. It's a do it mold, and it's a do-it-yourself sinker mold. You get lead, you melt it down, and you can make all kinds of sinkers. Well, I used to make tons of different sinkers to resell, and that was when shipping was a much better price than it is today. Well, I don't really make them so much anymore, except for myself. But I still had some packages of some smaller, lighter weight stuff that would mail out pretty easy. So I went ahead, and when I tell you that, I'm talking about just little lightweight packages. These little packages weigh less than a pound, and little tiny sinkers. So I still got a few that I'm going to go ahead and list and sell. Or they are listed and they're going to sell. These are another package that sold, and these sold for $10. Free shipping, I'm making about $5 or a little over $5 a package, so not bad. Here's some Dr. Comfort heat moldable inserts for diabetic or arthritis. Great for feet control. This is size 6 medium wide. These are the kinds of things that I wouldn't recommend just going and picking up, But I had come across a whole box of a whole bunch of them. Inexpensive. Couldn't remember what I paid for the box. Maybe $5 or something, $10 for a whole box of maybe 50 of these. And I sold all of them. I think this was actually the last ones, and these sold for $12, and they go out in a padded poly bag. Just heard cha-ching on my phone. Just sold a record for $10 plus shipping. Well, I'll tell you about it, but I'll probably show you in another video because I'm not going to mail it out today. All right, so next we're going to come across these Spanish postcards. These are Spanish postcards along from the 1950s. How do I know this? Well, way back at the beginning, I showed you this Spanish bullfighting fan. My great-grandmother great-grandfather went to Spain back in the 1950s, and they got a whole bunch of stuff. Well, nobody in the family's wanting this stuff, and it's just sitting around. It's just in a memorable box of things that were passed on. It gives me no joy and no value to hold on to these. It's not something that I'm going to remember. I never saw her holding it, using it, or never saw it in her house. Never saw it at all. So it was just stuff that was passed on. This kind of stuff that doesn't have any memory, if things don't give you any kind of joy, then just get rid of it. Sell it. Pass it on. Give it away. Do something with it. But if it doesn't give you joy, it's just taking up space and you're just cluttering your house. And in this case, it was just taking up storage box in a closet. It was some items I'm going through to get rid of. And as you can see on the back of it, it's never been written on. She just collected a bunch of them from the different places in Spain. And what's unique about these postcards is, and you really can't see it, but like the lady's skirt and outfit, if you can see, it's a slightly different coloring than the guy, and that's because the skirt is actually embroidered. They actually embroidered these postcards. And when I say these postcards, the person that bought this one for $9.95. They also bought this one for $9.95. Here you can see the embroidery. It's just a painted or lithograph type of postcard, but they embroider the clothes. And that same buyer also bought this one for $9.95. And again, you can see the embroidery that's done on the postcard, and that's the way they came. They're pretty unique. So that buyer paid about $30 for all three of those postcards. A total of all those sales, including shipping, was just about $1,000. And after, you got to pay your fee. So after, like I said, you minus the shipping. Some of those are free shipping. I understand that. Some of them had charged shipping. But you minus the shipping, you minus the fees, you minus everything like that. I don't calculate for my time it takes me to take a picture and put up a listing. Everybody's time is different. I can usually do it fairly quickly. Newer people that are selling on eBay may take a little bit longer, so I don't put in time factor for that, just to let you know. But after all the fees, all the everything, shipping and everything, I believe it was 24 items. I didn't count, but around 24 items was a net profit of about $500 and some change. So you have a potential to make $500 or more in a week. This is 1 week's worth of sale. And to finalize everything for this video, if you're still here and haven't run around, we are giving away an RK Treasure Center t-shirt. I put it out in my last video that everybody that left a comment was automatically going to be entered in for a t-shirt. So I have a black RK Treasure Center t-shirt to give away. So here in a minute, I'm going to get my wife. We're going to go to this computer and we are going to give away a t-shirt, and I'll announce the winner. All right, so I brought my lovely wife out here.
Hi, everybody.
And she said she loves doing the random picking because she likes to know when somebody's going to win a prize. So she's got it. We got the random comment picker all set up, and she's all ready to go.
Yep.
All right, we'll go ahead and click the old start button. We've got 61 commenters that left comments on the last video. Okay. You scroll it so it shows up down here. The winner is Grumpy. I'm not sure I can say that. Grumpy Norwegian Podcast.
Cool.
The comment says, Roy, glad to see you back and you're doing well. Been wondering what's happening. Wanted to reach out but didn't want you to think that I was prying or trying to be too noisy. La da da. Oh, it touches our heart. Well, I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but we really appreciate it. So Grumpy Luigian Podcast, you are the winner, and you can get an RK Treasure Center shirt. Contact me through my Gmail, RK Treasure Center, all one word, at gmail.com, and we'll verify that it's you. And also this, we have an extra large, but we may have a couple other little sizes, so put in there what size that you think you would like. Like I said, this one's an extra large, and if we have one that accommodate the size you may be wanting, or if this one's fine, then just let us know. And we really appreciate everyone for watching, and I'm glad that you came out to do the random comment picker.
We're back.
You haven't been on camera for a while.
No. And all the comments have been so wonderful welcoming us back, and I'm so happy to be back.
Yeah, we are glad to be back from California and taking care of the ordeal that we had to go through. That was a long process.
Yeah.
Keep watching our videos. Don't forget, as always, like, share, and subscribe. And we will see you in the next video. Everyone take care, be safe, be kind to one another, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.